discus lariat.
The huge suplex.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome. September 25th, the final Thoughts Count Anywhere show in 60 minutes and in September. Why? Starting next week. You asked for it. We are bringing it to you starting next Saturday, October 2nd, live from the World Market Center, coming to you from Unicon. Thoughts Count Anywhere, not 1 hour. We're bringing you the brand new 2-hour format. 2 hours. That's right. 2 hours. And we want to thank the Bruise Brothers. And we want to thank, of course, Sin City Sublimation for helping us get that second hour in the book. Joining me as always here, of course, to my right, the man ringing the bell, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Chief. How are you, sir?
I'm doing outstanding this week. Let's rock and roll.
You betcha. And sitting in for Mr. Matt, who's out in California with Scott Hosey, as they're at LAX, Mr. Brett Lawson, my co-host for Unsportsmanlike Conduct and a closet wrestling fan. How you doing, bud?
I'm coming out today, right?
You are coming out today. Actually,
although because I've been on the show twice. I've guest because I was a guest ring bell.
Correct.
Ringer.
Right.
Bell ringer. Yeah.
Bell ringer.
Ring bell ringer.
Don't tarnish my job.
So maybe I'm not a true mark, at least
You're
as much as I
not.
thought, right? But no, I remember that was my debut on the show. I've been on the couch a couple times, and then I filled in your absence one
Correct.
time. But hey, I'm happy to keep the seat warm for Matt while
and
he's
then
gone.
what did we do a couple of weeks ago together?
Some wrestling commentary,
Yeah,
which was an absolute blast.
We were at Cauliflower Alley Club. We provided our commentary chops to just about most of the matches as it worked out, because MK got demolished by Medusa.
Yeah. Yes.
Took a stiff shot.
He took a stiff shot, so he couldn't come back to commentary. We had a couple of guests fill in, 2 or 3 other folks, and then you and I, you and I did the last 2 matches.
We took it home.
So yeah, it was a great time. So, and then now you and I are involved at Unicon next week.
Yep.
Tremendously involved.
Yep. And there will be
What
some.
am I, chop liver?
No. Well, I was going to let he jumps the shark. He doesn't let me
Always.
finish.
See, we got to look at it. We have the graphic. We have the promo ready to go.
The chief, just so you know, the chief will be there before these two gentlemen. So I will have the honor of opening Unicon on Wednesday, but not to anybody else, just me.
That's why Chief should get top billing then.
That's right. There you go. Let's see. I will be on the main stage over the week doing a lot of the main panel discussions there. Myself and I'm blanking on the co-host's name. Megan,
Garth?
I apologize. No, not Garth is for one show. Garth and I will actually be doing the main panel discussion with Jake the Snake. I'm really excited about that. And then you, sir, will be hosting all the panel discussions in the panel
room itself. Yep.
And then Chief will be holding down the fort all over the place wherever he's needed with Scott. But here's what's also important. Our shows on Saturday mornings will still be coming from the World Market Center next Saturday.
Yep.
So you and I will still be doing Unsportsmanlike Conduct at 8 a.m. from there. 9 o'clock, I will probably be starting the show at least 30 minutes because at 10 o'clock I have to be on the main stage.
You better have your running shoes on,
I know,
fellas.
I know. I'm gonna have my listen, just like Howie Long does on the pre-show.
Yep.
He's got his Skechers on.
Yep.
I got my CrossFit sneaks on right now.
Skechers right there.
There we go.
Fortunately- Yeah, fortunately,
We got the endorsement from Chief.
Fortunately, my sneakers are black, so they're going to look really good with the tuxedos I had to.
Right.
That I've. And by the way, thank you to Friar Tux. Continuing, they outfit us for Black Tie Vegas, but they've been kind enough to outfit myself.
What
And
a
maybe
great-
you, if you need, you got to let me know.
What a
dude.
great name, too.
Yeah, Friar
That's such a
Tux,
great name.
right? Isn't it? And
Yeah.
they are. We will be providing my apparel all this weekend at Unicon. So a lot going on. We want to thank everybody, and the fact that we are unveiling 2-hour show at Unicon. And again, we've been talking about this for a while to go to 2 hours because we have so much to cover that by the time we get off main topics, we rush through the back half of everything.
Well, that's what I'm like, because whenever I do stick around for the show, just hanging around the couch or whatever, just keeping a presence in the studio. My favorite thing is when you guys wrap up or even just end a segment, you think, man, we're gonna have a lot left over. We may have to consider going to 2 hours. And now, by popular demand from the masses, from the faithful, the TCA faithful, it's gonna happen. So good for you guys.
So let me just give a quick shout out in the chat room. Thomas is there. Krista's in there. Thank you. Of course, our buddy Sean, where we go to work with him. God bless him. Carlos, good morning, Carlos. Oh, Brandy, good to see you in there.
Good morning, my
Brandy's
sister.
there. Sheila Cooper's out there. Thank you very much. Our buddy William Hudson. Thank you guys for tuning in. Who else we have in there that I haven't recognized? All right. So all of you
Morning, Will.
all of you that will be at Unicon next week, make sure you track one of us down. If all goes well and if you haven't picked up a copy of my book, I'm hoping to have copies of my book there to sell for anybody that wants one. I'll lead more about that during the week, so stay tuned on Facebook. All right,
Buy it because the chief endorses it.
there you go. Thank you. Sorry, I appreciate it, as well as my wife, because I got to pay bills. So please buy. Anyway, so we got a lot going on in the world of pro wrestling. Want to get started? Let's start off with I Hear Voices. 702-329-6947 is our number. Call us, please. Join us in the conversation. All right, first topic. AEW could be debuting new secondary titles for the women's division, possibly a tag team championship set of belts. Why not? Why not have a set? I mean, is there women's tag team division strong enough to support belts?
You know what? I've said it before, and I'm going to keep saying it again. The women need to be recognized. So if they're going to drop tag team belts, it's about time. Maybe you asked the question, is there enough women? Yeah, there's enough women.
Okay.
Look at it.
Now, I would agree with that. I think my one complaint, not even complaint, my one fear when AEW started in 2019 was that would they rush to too much too fast? But I think with the way the past 2 years have kind of worked themselves out, they could kind of afford to do that now because they really were able to solidify themselves on television, then followed by pay-per-view. They're able to attract that I guess you could say that contingent of ex-WWE talent
Right.
that are either able to reshape themselves or just market themselves in an entirely different way altogether. So when you get that carryover, plus your original talent that have been there from the start, you have great management. Tony Khan continues to impress in terms of the ownership. At this point, you can now afford to add more, and something like this is what you want to look to add.
I think looking at the match Britt Baker and my redhead had the other night, I love her. I love Ruby.
Yeah, I do too.
I think that answers a question if there's enough women
Sure.
in AEW.
Thomas just shared in the chat room. He has heard that they're going to be debuting a TBS championship belt for the women, like I guess like a TV championship belt, like the men have. So, we'll see. I listen. I've been doing so well the 2 years that they've been out of the gate. And there's one topic that I want to add when we get down to the bottom about AEW that I'm kind of surprised about with the change in commentary on Friday nights, which I don't think we really talked about last week. But there's no question. The Arthur Ashe show, which we'll talk about, was huge. They have made inroads in 2 years that I don't think any other wrestling company that had been out there over the years, WCW, NWA, all of those guys, would have hoped to even put a dent into what was the WWE powerhouse juggernaut company.
Let me put it this way to you. When you look at who they have in the back, Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, Chris Jericho. Okay. Then you bring the younger people in, Cody Rhodes, Dustin Rhodes. Kenny Omega, the Bucks,
Christian.
Christian,
Mark Henry and Big Show.
Mark
Yeah.
Henry
Their
and Big
knowledge.
Show. Now, they've worked for different organizations. They've gained the knowledge. Collectively, they're bringing the knowledge together. And I'm just talking about men. We forgot a great woman with woman knowledge. Excuse me, Miss Vicky Guerrero.
Good friend of our shows.
Okay, Miss Vicky.
Yes.
And you take that knowledge. Tony Khan gives them the creativity to develop the shows. Then they go to Tony, and Tony says yay or nay. That's the way you put on great shows. Okay? No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So, AEW going into their third year, I think the sky's the limit for them.
And I think so much of it is that television presence. I mean, you've had revolutions in promotions, whether they be regional or national. Like ECW was
Right.
considered giant in the early to mid-'90s, but they never had a TV platform.
Correct.
Getting immediately situated with Turner was the best thing that could have happened to this promotion. In turn, with the bringing in that veteran talent and with the accumulation of modern day talent, and even going back to the commentators, as you mentioned, Aaron, that's been a big factor as well now on both shows. But again, veterans, Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone, Taz.
Well,
guys-
those two names that you just mentioned off the top needed to be there immediately for the sake of credibility,
Absolutely.
if nothing else. But what I
And
was referring-
familiarity.
right? And what I was referring to is they brought Mark Henry in.
Yep.
Not only as a backstage trainer kind of guy, but they really touted him to be on the announce team, and
Yeah.
he had been initially on the Friday Night Rampage show,
When
one
Punk-
of the three
when
or four.
Punk made his debut,
correct?
yeah.
And he was supposed to be on there. Now it came out last week, and I forget the other wrestler's name that's supposed to be joining commentary. But now Mark Henry is now going to supposedly been relegated to more backstage interviews for
Yeah.
the Friday show, maybe some pay-per-views, and spending more time in the back. I wonder about why that transition happened so quickly.
I think Mark's going to be doing more of the training.
Bingo.
Okay. I hope so.
And
And-
that's
And he's going to do the interview for the main event
Gotcha. Okay.
with the two wrestlers, and then it leads in to the main event.
yeah.
Want to give a couple of quick shout outs to folks that have joined the chat room. I know I saw the name in here before. Richard DeTore, thank you very much. Principe Leon is in the chat room, of course, as well.
morning.
Sean is in there. Ricky, I'm getting names like Ricky Starks, Jerry Lynn, also from some of our viewers. 702-329-6947, guys. Give us a call. We'd love to hear your voice on the show with us. Press 1 for the studio.
And that role of producer /
Yeah.
agent, executive, whatever you want, trainer, coach, whatever you want to call it, it's basically the same it's a different title for the same position.
Right.
That is so crucial because we saw how crucial that was for WWE for such a long period of time. Guys like Dean Malenko, who I keep forgetting, he was such a great agent. In addition to being a great worker, he's now been a great backstage executive for
Right.
AEW. So I think having Mark Henry in that capacity, having him in that proximity to the talent backstage, will make it easy for him to also have a broadcast presence. He could get in front of a camera, do the interview, then immediately go talk to the two workers who are involved in the next match.
Ricky Starks is the individual who will be replacing Mark Henry, supposedly as reported on commentary. All right.
How about Ricky the Dragon Steamboat?
Who's one of maybe the best backstage coach ever. He really is.
Well, he's not over there.
But like,
Not
what
yet.
about
Oh,
bringing
okay.
him in though?
Not yet.
Because
Not
he
yet.
did.
And here's one name that you guys
NXT
didn't-
he did wonders
Well,
for.
here's a name you guys didn't bring up: Bryan Danielson. Granted, he's wrestling, but he's considered one of the best minds behind the scenes psychology.
He'll do some coaching.
which is what they wanted him to do over WWE.
Yeah.
I will get to that later.
Is that your rant?
We will defer.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Let's
like
let's go to our next topic. Rumor is the main event of this past Monday Night on Raw, Lashley versus Big E versus Reigns, was made on Raw because Vince liked the house show matches that these guys were doing over the weekend. I give them credit. If they're working on the road, why not put it on Raw? Besides, it's a big draw match, but
I don't disagree with you, and from what I understand,
Wait.
go ahead.
hold on to that thought, because I don't want to hold up our caller because he is taking time away from setting up in LA with Scott Hosey. But our third partner, he is doing due diligence in Cali.
We got
Mr.
him.
Matt Mullen joins us. How are you, buddy?
I'm good. How you guys doing?
We're doing well. What's happening out there in LA, my friend?
It's pretty good crowd so far, but only so far. Melissa Santos and Victoria are here.
Oh, that's all. Victoria. I love Victoria, though.
How you doing, my brother?
I'm good. Tired, but good.
I got you.
So what time does the show, is the show officially open out there?
It's open now, but most of the talent don't get here until 10.
Gotcha. And who specifically will be there at Power Play Sports table? Is it the two ladies that you mentioned already, and who else?
They're near us, but they're not at our table.
Oh, they're in the. So who's going to be there at Power Play today?
Nobody. We're just selling merchandise.
Oh,
over
just
here.
selling merchandise. Okay, I didn't know if Scott had arranged some folks to do some signings as well. So
That's next week.
yeah, that's right. That's next week. That's true.
Hey, as I told the fellas here, make sure you got your running shoes for next week, brother. We're going to be busy.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be chaos.
What were those sneakers as kids that grew up? You used to hit a little button on the side and the little rollers would fall out underneath the sneakers. Heelys.
Yeah,
That's what we need.
I thought you were going to go with Reebok pumps.
No, not pumps.
The mid-2000s John Cena.
No.
What the hell are you talking about?
You don't remember the kid
pop-out
shoe,
shoes.
the pop-out shoes? They had a little button on the on the inside of the heel.
It was
you kick it and then two wheels would pop out under the sneaker.
They're shoes, makeshift roller skates out of basically tennis shoes.
Correct.
That's essentially what they are. They call them
Did you-
Heelys because the wheel is in the heel.
Yeah, probably like 15 years ago they came.
And
But
you're
they're not big now.
No, they were huge. And you're an educator, an elementary school educator. They were the bane of high school teacher
absolutely.
and principal's existence.
Absolutely.
They really were.
So, Matt, what else is going on out there, brother? What are you up to today? Who you trying to get autographed besides mine?
We're trying to get Kane, Bret Hart, Miro, Corey Wilson, Layla.
And of course, as many shout-outs as possible for TCA, right?
Duh, it's like my first priority.
There you go. Well, listen, April is also supposed to be out there. Glow's out there. So if you see April, say hi for us.
I will.
All right. Listen, you got a busy day ahead of you chasing down some people, my friend. Just don't get arrested, all right?
I will, for sure.
Okay.
Hey, and
Resort to the chicken wing if you have to.
That's right.
The crossface chicken wing. That's your specialty. I know
Oh,
that.
hell yeah.
Yeah,
That's
there
my
you go.
go-to.
That's
Hey,
the go-to. I love
you
it.
That or his sausage.
you
Ooh,
guys
little judo.
just be safe when you're coming home.
Absolutely.
Please.
Oh, we will.
All right, buddy. We'll see you. Have a good weekend. Safe trip home, and we'll
See
see you
you
at
Tuesday.
Unicon.
Have a good rest of the show,
Yeah,
guys.
Tuesday.
Thanks,
See-
Matt.
hey.
Stay safe.
Do me a favor. Bring the thing Tuesday night that you have, please.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, Tuesday night, Firehouse Subs,
5905 Suite 109.
7-8 p.m. Colonel Nanuchka will be our special guest. We have signed memorabilia from her and April as our giveaways. Matt, be safe out there. Say hi to Scott. Thank him for us, and we'll see you guys on the flip side when you get back.
For sure. Have a good show, guys.
All right, guys.
Thanks,
Thank you,
brother.
Matt.
Our guy, Matt Mullen. I'll tell you what.
Keeping the seat warm for him.
I tell you what, I'm get goosebumps because Matt has been a staple of this show from the very beginning with Scott Hosey and one other individual. And I got news for you. You and I mean, he even put the run sheet together for us before leaving for Cali.
Oh, so this is because I know he always types it. So even this week, the one
This
that we're
is
looking at,
correct.
he types.
This is from
that's
Matt.
impressive.
Thank God, because
That's dedication.
man,
Well, I was sort of prepared to kind of wing it. but-
as I wrote you yesterday, and you can repeat it if you want.
He was panicked, like run sheet with a question mark. I'm like, I hope so.
If you want.
if you
Yeah.
we'll figure it out. But listen, he manages our website. He puts all of our swag up. You know, he's out there humping. You know, for TCA, he's working for Scott. He's a mainstay of this show, and our show would not be anywhere near entering our second hour without Matt Mullen.
He's the legs.
So
For
the heart and
sure.
soul, there's no question. All right,
sure.
we're going to get ready to step aside for a quick break. We're running a few minutes late, but when we come back, we're going to get into some of the Extreme Rules preview for tomorrow. We had a big AEW show last week, some report news. We got a lot going on. We thank everybody for watching. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
It's not the worst podcast ever, is it? It's the best podcast. Thoughts count anywhere. All your wrestling news, all your hobbit hey, all your gimmickry. Go on over, listen wherever your podcasts are downloaded. The Thoughts Count Anywhere podcast. I'm the big LG Doc Ellis. That's my endorsement. Booyah!
At Firehouse Subs, a portion of every purchase helps provide much-needed life-saving equipment to first responders. We make our subs differently because our subs make a difference. Firehouse Subs. Enjoy more subs. Save more lives.
Unicon coming October 1st to the 3rd, 2021. Las Vegas, and you're ready for 3 days of pop culture, comic, toys, games, food trucks, and sports. Unicon features a huge vendor floor, awesome panels, and your chance to meet incredible guest celebrities. So make sure you make plans October 1st to the 3rd, 2021. The Expo at the World Market Center. For more information, visit www.unicon.radio. Unicon, fandoms united.
All right. Welcome back, Thoughts Count Anywhere. Listen, Unicon is up on the screen a few seconds ago. We are really excited. Listen, we got to tell it as it is. Steve Johnston, the owner of Rogue Toys here in town. He's one, if you don't know who he is, if you watch Pawn Stars, he is the toy expert that comes in. Steve and Scott Hosey, our guy over at Power Play Sports, also one of the originators of this show, about a year and a half ago, Chief, they started thinking about this concept.
Yep.
This event was originally supposed to be held in March.
Yes.
But then with over the COVID stuff, they push it off to the current date for next weekend.
Correct.
And we have to thank those guys for allowing Thoughts Count Anywhere to be a big part of the show, us as talent to be there and help support. Go Live Vegas is going to be there all weekend doing stuff, not only covering our shows, all our shows are going to be there, but all sorts of, he's basically, Go Live Vegas is the official streaming service, more or less, for Unicon.
Yep.
So we want to thank the guys out there for having us be part of this great. This is going to be huge next weekend.
Great gentleman, and
Yeah.
and out to my brother from another mother, Mr. Sean Hyde.
Yes.
Yes, sir. I did attach skates to the bottom of my sneakers with a key lock, and I did skate with him. You are correct. Most people don't even know what the hell I'm talking about.
Well, now they're made in plastic. They're not made in metal anymore. You can find them in like the toddler section and the toy section in stores. Yeah. All right, let's get back to our run sheet here. Tomorrow, Extreme Rules pay-per-view. Not one of the big four, but yet still a good card. Again,
And in recent years, it's really become a big show.
yeah, but you know, it's funny about these theme shows. I know we've talked about it weeks ago.
Yeah.
You have these theme shows like TLC and Extreme Rules. Why isn't every match under one of a stipulation of sorts? Otherwise, why only one or two matches using these rules?
Oh yeah, well, like when Hell in a Cell does 3?
Barely.
It's fine if you want it as a part of the theme, but you shouldn't title it that.
Correct.
It shouldn't be entitled Hell in a Cell. There you go.
There's a picture of Chiefs skates there, Sean, just for you. I didn't know you liked the yellow. That's kind of New Day-ish.
Hey,
for
it's
you.
like Boston Red Sox yellow
Oh,
jersey.
yeah, that's right. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, there you go. So if you were at the Red Sox game last night and you wanted good shoes to match,
if you haven't burned your eyes out of your head yet, right? Yeah.
And the fact they're going to keep wearing it, but that's a whole nother topic. Anyway.
You know, you said something, and
Yes.
let me bring a quick comment up.
Go.
AEW, if you take notice with their shows, the first match is always an explosion match to set it for the rest of the night. Mm-hmm. Okay?
And that's a brilliant strategy.
What we're talking about coming up here, it's not happening on this show coming up tomorrow.
Well, we don't know what the order of the matches are yet,
Okay.
but because I can't imagine. Well, I don't know. Look, we would presume that the Universal Championship match would more than likely
We'll close the show.
Yeah. But this is just a listing of the matches. But I agree with what you're saying. That first match has to kind of set the tone.
It's a great idea.
With with the problematic being you don't want to go too high in that first match because then you can come down, as we know, matches ebb and flow with the audience,
Yes,
right?
sir. I don't disagree with you. I'm just looking at 5 of the matches are championship matches.
Yes. That's true. The only match that's listed on here that's not a championship match is Liv Morgan versus Carmella. But all right, let's start with
Let's
that
go.
one because Liv Morgan lost last night to Selena Vega with outside distraction from Carmella. What's the storyline here between Liv Morgan and Carmella? I'm kind of having trouble understanding why these two. Is it just because they're both pretty, or I mean, what's the storyline here?
That it's up to me. It seems a little random.
Right?
It seems kind of out of the blue.
I know originally it was going to be
Yeah.
like there was the thing with the championship match. They were supposed to be in it, Carmella, and then we had the fatal 3-way, 4-way, whatever it was, the triple threat a couple of weeks ago. We know their tag match got axed a couple of weeks ago on SmackDown. But where did the heat come between these two?
As long as it's not hubcap, I don't care.
I think I think it's just a classic, going to the MMA boxing comparison, if you wanted to, I know it's a loose analogy, but like a title eliminator.
Right.
This basically is an easy way to springboard the winner into a title package, a title picture in the near future. And, that's why it could kind of sit on its own as a non-title bout.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe these two are being given a chance to wrestle on the pay-per-view.
Yeah,
to showcase themselves,
due to the cut of the 6 women match.
So where's Selena Vega?
Well, what I was going to bring up, if you would have let me finish,
sorry. Oh,
sir.
okay.
That's okay. You stole my thunder, but it's okay. As you normally do. No, I'm joking. Why didn't they put the 6 women match on instead of just the 2 and let all 6 of them showcase?
Yeah, this would have been a good opportunity to make that up for them. I totally agree with that. I don't know. Maybe Selena Vega gets involved and DQs the match somehow, and now you got a triple threat coming down the pike as maybe a number 1 contender kind of thing coming down the line.
Yeah, it could have been a schmoz. Like, I wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah,
Right.
but I'll tell you what, with all due respect to what's going on, I'd like to see Liv Morgan get her push finally, and let's do it. Enough of this bullshit. And then she loses last night, though, to Selena Vega.
Yeah.
Granted, with the distraction issue, but still.
But anytime she catches a spark, it seems like it's quickly put out.
Exactly.
She can't catch traction, which is kind of a shock because, not to objectify, but she seems to match the WWE kind of standards of who they like to push in the women's division. So
Maybe that's why Ruby left.
Yep. Well said.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be. And I don't know what Liv Morgan's contractual obligations are to the WWE in terms of time, but who knows? All right. Sean puts, William, our buddy William Hudson, might as well have the Universal match first because with the upcoming Saudi event, not looking possible for any type of title change. And I don't see it happening either. Finn Balor coming out as the Demon is almost like a one-trick pony kind of thing with the Demon coming out.
I know Will, and I trust Will's knowledge of wrestling, and it's probably going to go down that way. That wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, they've kind of telegraphed it. I don't, I love Finn. This is really his first opportunity to try to get the belt back since being injured when he had to give it up the first time when he was the original one a night later.
2016,
Yeah, so, this is really his first opportunity to try to win the belt back.
But really, that's all they had back then. Who else did they have that they really were going to put the belt on? And, as our friend says, it's all about selling merch.
That's right. That's right.
And Finn sells merch.
Well, yeah, that's one thing the Finn has always been. I've never been a huge Finn Balor mark per se, but one thing I will say is that he's over and that he's never really lost steam. He's lost steam in terms of how he's handled by management, no doubt about it, which is why he went back to NXT ultimately. But in terms of his popularity, he has not dwindled at all.
No, not at all. All right, next match, SmackDown Women's Championship, Becky Lynch, the man, versus the EST, Bianca Belairist. Bianca Belair.
I'm excited simply for the fact that it's not going to be a squash like we saw at SummerSlam, which was the biggest travesty of the show and probably the worst thing to happen in the pro wrestling industry this past summer.
Well, let's hope not.
Well, right. That too. Who knows?
I think neither one of them have anything to prove, but I hope EST wins because she is a sister of mine in Naval from Tennessee, so she deserves her push again.
Yeah, she never should have lost the belt.
No, she shouldn't.
Nope.
Correct.
That in my mind, when that happened, that was almost the squash match of Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels all over again.
Like from a screw job type of standpoint.
Yes.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan, though, losing in 8 seconds to Sheamus.
In the opening bout of WrestleMania.
Exactly.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah.
So maybe they're following that formula a little bit. So now here's Belair. She gets squashed. She'll chase the title again and eventually get the title back. Obviously not at I don't know if she'll get it at Extreme Rules because Extreme Rules is not really the type of pay-per-view where you'll see many title changes, if at all.
I think Becky
agree.
goes over.
So,
I think Becky goes over, but at least we're going to get to see a match. And I think this needs to end ultimately with Bianca getting the belt back. But I'm with you, Aaron. I don't think it happens at this event.
Yeah. All right, next match. SmackDown Women's we just did that one. Raw Women's Championship, sorry. Charlotte Flair and versus Alexa Bliss. Are we going to see wonky shit in this match?
Probably. I'm in just because I love Charlotte. Not really big on the Alexa Bliss character. I think it's a very good character on paper, much like anything regarding Bray Wyatt was, but it has an expiration date. That's my thing. I don't know. I'm not going to say it's jump the shark because it still kind of could hit certain buttons. I guess you could say if you do it right, it could kind of hit the target. But compared to Charlotte, I mean, she's just going to be completely outmatched. So it's going to be hard to tell a convincing story against someone who's so superior athletically.
Right.
Is this the end of the character, finally?
I think it needs to be.
Well, I'll tell you something I read.
The doll is selling like crazy, though.
No, it is.
I'll tell you something I read, and, of course, it was a dirt sheet. Bray might be re-signing.
Really?
That's a big rumor, too.
Yep.
Wow.
And I just wonder
That would be shocking.
if he does. I don't disagree with you, but I wonder if he does, will the character then go away?
If that does happen, I think it should. I think it's time. And one telling thing at the last pay-per-view, I think it was, and I know I talked about it here, if you looked at the way Alexa's ring gear was in that last pay-per-view, she was back in her old-style two-piece wrestling gear. She wasn't in the schoolgirl. She had the ponytail, she had the makeup,
Yes,
but her
sir.
gear was her old traditional two-piece gear. Wasn't the schoolgirl skirt and all the true. What's the character from Suicide Squad that she's portraying? I'm blanking.
Harley
right?
Quinn.
Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a little telltale that maybe
There's like a meet in the middle type of
not
thing.
even in the middle, that maybe she's starting to come out of this a little bit because the character may be winding down. And if Bray does sign back up, I would love to see the character go away. But he has teased over the last couple of months this new look of the Fiend with a different mask. So I don't know if he's going to take the character to a different level. I doubt that he will be able to use it at AEW,
Right.
because of the character. There was something that came up with him walking down, it was on Twitter, walking down an aisle-like tunnel where he was in the original Fiend makeup, and then as he got closer to the camera, it sort of changed to the new look. But he wouldn't be posting that, and I think this gives some credence to what Chief just said.
Right.
If he is going elsewhere, even though he's been spotted at AEW and his name is highly, linked there, how could he put that out there within the last, I think it was maybe within the last 45 days I saw it, give or
Yeah.
take a couple of days. I don't know. I would love to see a dramatic change, and I think Alexa needs to move on.
I'm with you. And to me, it's just hard not to be skeptical just because, again, of that shelf life. Even if he presents a completely new character, regardless of the promotion, it's probably going to be genius initially.
Right.
But what kind of longevity will it really have? Because so far, the backwoods preacher gimmick had an expiration date, and the Fiend, in a way, has
Had its
met
own.
that same match. So I just don't know what the
Yeah.
long-term future for him would be.
Stay tuned, folks. We're going to have to wait and see.
I hate when he knows something.
I was going to say, he's all, yeah.
All right, with that,
Keep these
we're-
guys in the dark.
We're at the bottom of the hour. By the way, just before we get ready to go to the Chiefs rant, which is a cue for our producer to get the rant intro ready, Sean Hyde says Finn Balor, Owens, and AJ Styles are heading to AEW when their contracts expires. They are wrestlers, not sports entertainers. So Sean is going out on a limb, making that prediction. Carlos rebuts, saying that I think AJ had said this would be his last contract. He wants to focus more on his family. But I'll tell you what, if anything else, Daniel Bryan proved that you can get a contract with less time,
Yeah.
do other things that you want to do, Bryan Danielson.
Thank you.
Although he got the same offer from WWE, according to reports. So who knows? All right, with that,
Styles leaving would be huge.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Creative freedom.
it is time now, and it is time now for the last officially unsponsored segment of the Chiefs Rant, as next week the Bruise Brothers will become the official sponsor. So with that, let us get the Tasmanian Devil, known as the Chief, up and ready for the Chiefs Rant.
Good morning, everyone. It is the Chief, and it's time for the Chiefs Rant. Before I get started, I honestly want to do a shout out to the Brew Brothers, who are going to be sponsoring the Chiefs Rant starting next week. I am honored and privileged, and I say thank you to both of you. I love you guys. Anyway, I was going to do a rant, and I'm going to change it. I want to talk about professional wrestling and wrestling matches. You know I don't like flippy shit. Never have, never will. Okay, I think too many wrestlers get injured. But this past week, I actually got to see, as you all did if you watched, a wrestling match of about, I think it was 28 minutes it went. Kenny Omega and Bryan Danielson. They put on a freaking wrestling match, folks. A wrestling match. You saw wrestling holds, not flippy shit. And you know what the best thing about it was? There was no freaking interference. It was strictly a wrestling match. I wished more of the professional wrestlers that are out there today, and there are some great wrestlers. Randy Orton, AJ Styles, Santana and Ortiz, my man Moxley, Karrion Kross. These fellas know how to wrestle. They know how to put wrestling matches on. Okay, I think sometimes the creativity that WWE and Vince McMahon and a couple other companies, and I like to squash WWE anytime I get, so I'll squash them. Sometimes you got to pull the creativity back and actually put a wrestling match on. And it was an honor to see 28 minutes of wrestling. That's the Chiefs rant today. I'm not ramping it up because next week we go to 2 hours, and I'm going to turn it up next week with the rant that I have about people having different opinions. So I'm giving you a tease of what it's going to be about next week. That's the Chiefs rant. Chief over and out.
There you go.
Conserving some energy for next week too. So not blowing the gasket.
Not blowing the gasket.
And I'm going to have those new ass, whatever those shoes are with the wheels. I'm going to try to find
the metal skates?
No, the other ones.
Which other one?
The button.
Oh, with okay.
I'm going to try to find
what was the brand that they were called?
The Heelys?
Heelys.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to
Aaron, see if you can find a picture of the Heelys.
I'm going to call them new ass.
I'm going to try to find a pair of them for next week.
But Aaron's going to show you what they look like, so hopefully it'll make it easier for you. Want to remind everybody, and thank you all for watching Thoughts Count Anywhere, coming to you live from the Go Live Vegas studios in the heart of Las Vegas, Nevada. Our phone number 702-329-6947. 8555-502-4321. If you're outside the U.S. in either case, press the number 1. Come right into the studio. We want to hear from you, not just read from you, although we love everybody in the chat room. Give us a call. Give us your thoughts and ideas about tomorrow's pay-per-view. All right, 2 more matches to talk about, and then we're going to move on. We'll go to our last break at quarter of, so we're going to keep rolling. Where are we? United States Championship triple threat. Sheamus, Damian Priest versus Jeff Hardy.
Damian Priest keeps it.
Yeah, I agree in terms of the booking decision. And it's a good match because you have a little bit of everything. That's what you wanted a triple threat match in terms of the style. All those guys will probably complement each other for a pretty good in-ring story.
There you go. And I think with the last match that we haven't touched on.
And check it out really quick,
Aaron. Oh, there you go. There's your Heelys.
We wanted.
Now, you see on the back of the heel there, I think that's that's the outside. It's usually on the inside. But there's a button on the inside of the
heel, basically.
The heel,
or like
the bottom of the sneaker.
Yeah.
That you hit with your other foot, and those wheels pop out at the bottom.
It's like you click your heels, and next thing you know, you're
like,
mobile.
I like them better.
Well, yeah, that's before and after.
That's
new age and old age.
We're looking at the evolution before our very own eyes.
There you go.
I saw it on the radio.
That's right. You saw it.
Just like this. That's how you got exposed to pro wrestling.
That's right. By the way, Carlos would like to know if the Chiefs rants are going to be longer now that the show is 2 hours now.
No.
We don't want to spoil a good thing.
3 minutes is enough.
There you go.
Unless I really got something, and then the fellas will always give me a little extra
Of course.
time.
Besides, Chief rants throughout the whole show whenever he wants to.
In a way, the whole hour, soon to be 2 hours, is a Chiefs rant in a way.
We should just rename the show the Chiefs Rant.
No.
Chiefs Thoughts Count Anywhere.
Or just like the Chiefs Show featuring Aaron and Matt.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, go to thoughtscountanywhere.com. Make sure you click on the shop tab because you can get any of Chief's shirts that are out there. Chief, it ain't easy. We got some new shirts out there straight out of TCA. Of course, we have the shirts out there that still raise money for the Nevada Coalition for Suicide Prevention. They're still out there. Tons of swag. Plus, we also have shirts up on professionaltees.com. We need you to buy some shirts through that so that the more shirts, once we hit a certain quantity, then we can get more shirts added to the website, which means whenever ProWrestlingTees.com offers a discount on the entire website, then you too can get a discount on even our merchandise. All right. Okay, some news from WWE. Grand Metalik has asked for his release.
Okay.
Crickets.
All right, crickets. Next topic. A heartfelt congratulations from all of us here at Thoughts Count Anywhere and your friends here in the Las Vegas area going out to Karrion Kross and Miss Scarlett. On social media, they announced their engagement. Isn't that terrific? We're so happy for them.
Kevin, the Chief better have wedding invitation. I spread it out over public domain. So make sure I'm at the top of the list.
I love how he went shoot mode there, too. You broke kayfabe to personally address him. That's how you know he means it.
Well, listen, you notice he only asked for invites for himself.
Yeah.
You notice that.
No one to tag along.
Yeah, no one to tag along. Maybe TCA can do a live broadcast from there. We can broadcast.
As if you guys don't have enough remotes.
Well, that's okay.
Hey, but keep
Maybe
growing
that'll
the
be
brand.
our our wedding gift to them. We'll just do a free live remote.
Maybe
from
we
the
could
wedding.
get like a commentary gig.
There
we
you
could do
go.
some play-by-play in color for the ceremony.
What's that? We're trying to get. I don't know if we're having typing issues on the teleprompter or not. Okay, let's move on. John Cena. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Fans on social media trying to cancel John Cena for his comments he made about Chris Kanyon, saying he wasn't a good wrestler. Is a name like that cancelable? All right, let's go back a second. For those who don't know, Dark Side of the Ring, their latest episode this past week was talking about Chris Kanyon, his suicide, and that he was dealing with the struggles of coming out being an openly gay wrestler.
Very good episode.
Okay, it was a great episode.
Yep.
Sad episode. Let's say that also. But after the first return episode, Ric Flair got a lot of heat for the comments.
Oh, the plane ride from hell one?
The plane ride from hell and what he was allegedly and all that other stuff, and lost some credit. Now,
Not like Tommy Dreamer, though.
No, that's true. Now, coming out of that show, Ric Flair's name was already ahead of the show being aired about comments he made about Chris Kanyon when he called it to Howard Stern. Now, watching the show, I was totally unaware that Cena was also on the show when Ric Flair called in.
Mm-hmm.
And Cena actually said first that the reason that he was let go was, according to Cena, he was not very good. And then Flair called in to support Cena's comments of why he was not having nothing to do. I'm sorry, or maybe it was afterwards. I don't think Kanyon was in studio at the same time as John Cena. So they may have been separate shows because Kanyon was in studio doing whatever he was guesting to do. Flair called in backing up Cena's comments.
And he doubled down on what Cena said in a different interview.
Correct. So
Yeah.
maybe Cena was on like the week before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Cena used to be on Stern pretty frequently.
Correct.
Too, yeah.
So my point to all is, last week, prior to seeing the episode, only Flair's name got wrung through the mud again.
Mm-hmm.
And so my question was, why didn't Cena get heat for making the comment that Flair apparently
Responded
and
Right.
back up and supported? Okay. So I found that interesting, and now that's where this "let's cancel John Cena" stuff is coming from.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Thoughts, Chief?
All right, here we go.
Rant part two.
Rant 2.0?
Rant 2. No, not really. Here's my thought. They're professional wrestlers, okay? Back in the day, they could do what they wanted. Today is a different society and a different time we live in. We think differently. That stuff today would be left behind the curtain. It would not come out public like it did here.
You mean the comments or Chris
Yes,
Kanyon's story?
The comments.
Okay.
Okay. And the story. Okay. The story's the main part.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, we know what we support on this show. Okay. And we've done that.
Yep.
Okay. That's just the way we think and we feel. And it upsets me. And Will, I'm trying real hard not to swear, brother. Believe me. But it upsets me when things come out like that and we're not allowed to discuss feelings and things like that. You know, I've always said, I'm a military guy. If you've got something to say to me, come to my face and say it to me to my face. It doesn't need to go out on, that type of stuff doesn't need to go out on public media, okay? It's just wrong, it's wrong, it's wrong. So, I'm not going to talk about it anymore.
But I want to ask a question, and I would love our folks in the chat room to jump in.
Call the hell in.
Or because the chief said so. Hopefully, I know we recorded a soundbite about that maybe someday we'll have that able to use about the call-in drop, right, Mr. Producer? He's forgot. Okay.
That's
Well, I don't
okay.
have the board over there right on anymore. So
That's
anyway.
okay.
So, but here's my general question. Okay, the Chris Kanyon story itself aside for 1 second, I'm going to put that over here.
Yeah.
Is there anything wrong with somebody coming out saying somebody's not good?
No.
And that's the problem.
So that's where I want to draw
Yeah.
the line. Now, these guys came out saying, just on the surface, said he was not a good wrestler. from what I saw in the footage and from what I remember, I don't know if I agree with that. But the fact that they came on and just simply said that he's not a good wrestler, cover-up story or covering the real reason he may have gotten fired, blah, 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 I don't know. But is there anything wrong with them coming out saying that he's not a good wrestler?
Well, the problem is the timing, because it comes out with the fact that this story is now public and the fact that they wanted to portray it in a certain light given the Dark Side of the Ring episode. But at the same time, when that was initially said, John Cena is giving his opinion on something. John Cena can have an opinion on the caliber of wrestler who he thinks he is. The problem is it now becomes, I guess you could say, it immediately tied and immediately situated with the other side of it, which is what the exact same thing, Aaron, that you just put to the side. And now it can't be, and that was me, sorry. And we've already heard enough noises, but that's what it ultimately is. And now we can't separate the two because of the proximity.
Right.
So we're immediately going to dig the things that Cena said in the past that was simply just a criticism and his own honest opinion of his skills and his abilities as an in-ring worker, but now it's tied to the fact that he wasn't a good worker because he was of a sexual orientation that is different than mine.
Right.
Anybody can have an opinion. They're just like assholes. Okay? So that's the bottom line to that.
Yeah.
Now, if you're going to say, it would be me coming to you and saying, I don't like you as a broadcaster.
Right.
I think you suck.
Yeah.
Okay? On public air. Not true. So
No, and I get you. There's time and place.
But
Because he's not a Hall of Famer yet.
Yeah, he's exempt from that.
But the thing is, if you're going to say that, you say that behind the curtain.
Always.
You don't say that in public.
It's what we
All
talked
right?
about, a hot mic. You don't say it on a hot mic.
You never heard any, and I'm going to throw this one out there. Did you ever hear anything about Mr. Patterson?
Not in a public interview.
Nothing.
Not until, 15, 20 years ago? We have a caller calling in right now. Thank you for calling Thoughts Count Anywhere. Who's this, please? Where are you calling from?
What's going on, Aaron? This is Otto Von Clutch.
Otto Von Clutch. How are you, buddy?
I just to chime in on this issue that you guys are talking about right now.
Please do.
So, I mean, like, first of all, no one makes it to the NFL, the NBA, the MLB, or the WWE without being good or without being at a level of some sort of greatness. So, I think for any player on any team, on any sports league, or any profession to actually talk bad about another player, it's not really a class act. I think that they were trying to cover up the big picture, of course, and try to bury Cannon, because we all know who was better than Cannon? Nobody, all right? So it's pretty simple. I think that John Cena was out of line. Really what John Cena was doing was trying to protect his boss. So,
okay, fair enough.
Thank you, brother.
I see you from. And Chief, I love you.
I love you too.
I was gonna say,
you know that, man.
We need to keep this clip of audio because I think this is the first time since we've had Otto involved with Thoughts Count Anywhere that he and Chief actually agree on something.
No, you know what? Here, yes, we do. But here's the thing: when it comes down to professional wrestling,
right?
I totally endorse this phone call coming in because it's spoken truth. All I can say is thank you, my brother.
And I think he nailed it because it's like what we talked about. Is there necessarily a problem with John Cena having any type of opinion, whether it's positive or negative? No. Is it not exactly a good look of him sharing said opinion, much as what Otto just alluded to? That's important. As Chief alluded to, if you want to share it, if you have to get this burning feeling off your chest, you do it off camera, off mic.
Absolutely. And that's something that, I was training that my Hall of Famer trainer taught us. Like, if you have a problem with someone, you pull them aside, you talk to them in the back, and you squash it like men or women or whatever. You know what I mean? To go on to a public radio and to batter someone like that when obviously he was in an ill mental state, that's totally unprofessional and really just cheeseballs, you know what I mean? But it is wrestling. This is a carnival. This is going to be a lot of just backstabbing, everyone trying to make it to the top. So, it's a sad situation for, Cannon that this happened. But, that just, once again, we need to bring awareness to mental health, that what's going on. People might be not doing good, and people need to realize and detect these things when they see these situations.
Right on.
So,
and I
thoughts
think
are counted there. Love you guys all. Have a great morning.
Love you, my brother.
Thank you, Otto. We appreciate
Take care,
you, bud.
boss. Thank you.
guys.
You know, and he brings up a great point there
Yeah.
before we shift on, and this is why we're supporting the Nevada Coalition for Suicide Prevention. Mental health issues, mental health is a big issue today. And 20 years ago, when Canyon was going through all of this, we as a society did not address, even though people saw signs.
Yeah, and we would turn the shoulder. We turned
And we
turn our head.
just didn't know what to do. All right, before we get into some birthdays, our producer put something up here on the teleprompter. WWE wrestler shows off new gimmick at SmackDown Dark Match yesterday. Prior to Friday's episode at the Wells Fargo Center, a former Retribution member, Slapjack, who is also known as Shane Thorne, worked a dark match. Now, Slapjack now has a Crocodile Dundee type gimmick. He's also switched back to the Shane Thorne name. It appears this is an idea from Creative because he's, guess what, from Australia. Thorne has worked dark matches against the likes of Karrion Kross and Keith Lee since being off TV once Retribution split up. Thorne did comment on the criticism from fans regarding his gimmick by noting on Twitter, sure Croc Dundee isn't all thumbs up, or I can't read the whole
Isn't cool with the thumbs up emoji.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Because I'm missing this part of it. So go ahead and finish it off.
Yeah, as of this, regarding his gimmick by noting on Twitter, sure, Croc Dundee isn't cool with the thumbs up emoji. As of this writing, WWE's website is still listing him as Slapjack on the Raw brand currently.
Yeah, and if he's wrestling dark matches, they're going to put anything official on there until he's on TV. So,
yeah.
All right, with that, before we finish off some other topics, let's get into some birthdays before it gets too late. What do you guys think? Birthday time?
Birthday time.
All right, there you go.
Happy birthday to you.
All right, if you're celebrating a birthday today, Saturday, September 25th through October 1st, next Friday, you are celebrating a birthday with these people. If you're celebrating on September 26th, hey, you got it with Oscar and Murphy. September 28th, Steve Blackman, Jason Jordan, and Ginny. Jason Jordan is probably never going to wrestle again, right? That neck issue. He's backstage a lot, right?
I don't think so.
September 29th, Stacy Carter and Tajiri and Candice LeRae. September 30th, Chris Von Erich, Candice Michelle, Trevor Lee. October 1st, Hector Guerrero, Curtis Axel, Robbie E., and some belated birthdays. September 24th, one half of the Brew Brothers, Thomas Burnett. Did we mention Nicholas? Because his birthday was right. Did we mention Nicholas last week? Just want to make sure we got the Brew. Now that they're paying for your sponsor, we'll make sure we got them all covered. September 22nd, Ben Bowman. One half of course, is our friends at Top Rope Collectibles, and the other half on the 26th, being tomorrow, William Hudson, the other half of TRC. We want to wish you all a happy birthday, and we appreciate everybody's involvement and friendship here.
And folks, if you have a birthday and you want us to shout it out, please put it on our Facebook page. I actually learned something yesterday from Mr. Aaron on how to do that stuff on Facebook, so you all have to bear with me.
He messages me, and he says, how do I put something up on the website? I'm like, well, our current thoughtscountanywhere.com website, or are you talking about just like a Facebook post?
Social media, yeah.
So I said, no, well, you know what? We'll sign out. Can we sign out a few minutes early then to play? Will that help you to get to the airport if we do that? Okay. No, I know that.
We love you.
All right. So you know what? So let me just quickly finish the story, and then we'll just run one or two quickies. How's that? And then we'll finish up.
Thank you, boss.
I forgot what I was. Oh, so
yes,
I said, if you want something on the website, you got to contact Matt because he runs that.
Yeah.
I said, but if you just want to put a post up on Facebook, like on our page,
you have the power.
Just go to the little button that says post and write.
And I saw his post too, and it just says the Chief. I'm all like, is this the Chief's first time? Because I just happened to stumble across it. I'm all like, yes, we're seeing him reach out into the social media atmosphere.
Well, he just got rid of those metal skates, and now he's on Facebook. So,
yeah, right.
You know, he's
now we got to get him some Heelys.
I still got my radio though.
Yes, you do. All right. With that, we're going to step aside for a quick 60-second break. What do we have queued up there? 30, 60? What's that? 30? All right, we'll be right back.
If you order Firehouse subs online or with our app, we'll have those delicious, melty subs boxed, bagged, and ready to pick up with rapid rescue to go. Firehouse Subs. Enjoy more subs. Save more lives.
If inspiration is the beginning, where does it lead? Experience the 2021 Mazda 3 sedan and see where inspiration can take you.
Grab the brass ring in a 2021 Mazda 3 with exclusive FSW discounts at Findlay Mazda. Get Garth today at the Valley Auto Mall.
Unicon coming October 1st to the 3rd, 2021. Las Vegas, and you're ready for 3 days of pop culture, comic, toys, games, food trucks, and sports. Unicon features a huge vendor floor, awesome panels, and your chance to meet incredible guest celebrities. So make sure you make plans October 1st to the 3rd, 2021. The Expo at the World Market Center. For more information, visit www.unicon.vegas. Unicon, fandoms united.
Welcome back, fans, to Thoughts Count Anywhere. Real quick, remote podcast Tuesday night at Firehouse Subs, 5905 Eastern Avenue, Suite 109. Take it away, Mr. Aaron.
There you go. It's right in front of the Walmart there, Eastern and Okendo, right before you hit the airport if you're heading south on Eastern. Come on down. Colonel Nanichka will be with us because she and April will be at Unicon, and they were kind enough to sign some autographed pictures for us at CAC, so we're going to be giving away signed pictures from both the Royal Hawaiian, Miss April Hom, and the Colonel herself as our giveaways. And, of course, the big one, a trip to Cancun will be raffled off as well. Okay, so we appreciate you coming down the show from 7 to 8 p.m. Next weekend, Unicon, the greatly anticipated, probably the hottest show that is, or event that's big going.
To 8.
That's what I said, 2 to 8. Then they need to change that on the website because it actually says 3 o'clock.
2 to 8.
Okay, there you go. 2 to, let Scott know, would you? 2 to 8 is when Friday opens, and then Saturday, Sunday is pretty much all day. Cosplay, wrestling, sports, signatures, autograph shows, panel discussions. I will be on the main stage all weekend helping to host the panel discussions. Mr. Brett, what's your function there?
I will be in the panel room. So guests, topical conversation, a lot of pro wrestling influence in those 3 days that will be involved in those panels. So while you're doing your thing on the main stage, I'll be off to the side in the panel room doing similar, I guess you could say, activities, but in a kind of with a different presentation.
And also Go Live Vegas, which is, of course, going to be the main streaming service. We will be hosting our shows there as well. So you and I, 8 a.m., I'll be donned in a tuxedo. I don't know what you're wearing.
We'll find that. That's still pending. We'll find out.
All right. 8 to 9, 8 to 8:50 Unsportsmanlike Conduct will be on, coming to you live from the World Market Center. 9 to 11. Change your calendar. 9 to 11. The 2-hour debut of Thoughts Count Anywhere.
So you're going 3 straight hours from now on.
Well, yeah, going forward we will be.
Yeah, essentially.
So it'll be Matt, Chief, and myself at least getting the show opened. I have to be on stage at 10 a.m., so I don't know if I have to be cut loose at 9:30 to get ready for that. But either way, you guys, well, I don't know. What's your first assignment, 11?
I believe so, although if it's Friday, well, it's Saturday. Saturday, it's 11, yeah.
So you maybe will sit in with the guys, pick up my slack until you have to head off. So we'll figure it out.
It should work itself out.
And then at 12 o'clock, Twin Brothers from Different Mothers will be there, which as of right now, the current guest slated is Frankie Citro. And if you've missed any of Frankie Citro stuff with us on Twin Brothers, you need to go to our page, check out his past interviews, and, of course, his commercials.
And Chief's going to be doing Jack of all trades, master of none.
Yep, you're going to be running around supporting the event. Matt will be doing that as well. Go Live Vegas will be hosting live as well, which we just talked about, and going live periodically during the event with interviews with special guests. I don't know. We'll figure out who's going to be doing those. That could be many different people. Keep posted to the Go Live Vegas Facebook page, Twitter page, Twitch, Instagram accounts, the Go Live Vegas app, TikTok, and, of course, GoLive.Vegas. If you're just going to be sitting in front of your laptop, you can pull it up on your website. So the bottom line is Go Live Vegas will be there as well. This is going to be a great opportunity. I'm looking forward. No, Jameis, no Magic Mike moment with me in my tuxedo. I guarantee you that.
That'll be my moment.
Thanks, you wouldn't want to see it. By the way, Jameis, just message me if you got the book in the mail yet. It should be arriving soon.
Hopefully
I'll make you proud, Jameis.
Now, listen, folks, I got to be honest with you. This is the reason why we're going to 2 hours. So, I know, Aaron, can you give me my one shot, if you don't mind, for a moment? Folks, I want you to see it. You probably can't see it all that well. Oh, let me see. We tilt it down. You see this bottom half of the sheet from about here on down? That stuff we didn't even touch today.
The leftovers.
That's why we're going to 2 hours, because there's so much going on.
Holy shnikes.
You ain't kidding. Holy shnikes is right. That's why we're going to 2 hours. We needed it. You demanded. And again, we want to thank Bruise Brothers and Sin City Sublimation for making that happen. All right, with that, we got to get out of here because our producer has to get to the airport to pick some family up.
Yes, he does. But I'm probably going to have to go to 2 iced teas.
You're going to probably need a keg.
I think so.
All right, thank you for watching this.
I was going to say, either that or a restroom break worked in there, definitely. That's a lot of fluid.
We'll get a 5-gallon Home Depot bucket. Oh, my God. All right, with that, we want to thank everybody for watching. We love you guys. We appreciate it. Please, Tuesday, 7 to 8 p.m., Firehouse Subs. We'll see you then. Brett, thank you for sitting in for
Absolutely.
Matt. We heard
It was a
from
pleasure.
Matt. Chief, as always, my friend.
Yes,
Aaron,
sir.
thank you, sir. Everybody in the chat room, God bless you. Thank you. Be safe. Be kind to everybody. Why is that? We're all we'll have. We'll see you next week from Unicon.